Hey guys, what's going on? So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to take apart and repaste an R9 Fury Nitro. So the first step is we are going to take off the backplate. This is not completely necessary, but there is a thermal pad under there, and it's just, good to check to make sure the thermal pad is all good and everything, it just makes things a little bit easier. So you're going to want to take off these 11 screws, just untighten them until they come off. There's no real special order you need to go in. Just untighten all of them. After this, the backplate will be a little bit hard to get off because of the thermal pad that is stuck on there. So you might need to put a little bit of force into taking it off, although don't make sure you take off all the screws first, otherwise you might rip out a screw and damage the card. So yeah, if your thermal pad looks alright, looks pretty clean and isn't super dried out, then it's probably good. I mean, you don't even need it, but it's still good to have everything, in working order, because the backplate may provide some work. Next, you want to take off these 8 screws going in a cross pattern. The cross pattern ensures that you don't put uneven weight on the die. So we're just going to quickly take those all off, which should be a second. And now we are most of the way done with the disassembly of this card. The next step is to flip up the PCB. You want to hinge it at the edge of the card because that's where the fan connector is. Otherwise, you may rip out the fan connector if you try to lift it vertically or hinge in a different direction. To undo the thing, you're going to want to pull from the underside of the connector. Next, you're going to get a paper towel and some rubbing alcohol, and we're going to clean off the die. It's probably not going to be perfect unless you get like a toothpick and go in every little thing, but you may need to put a little bit of extra force to get it out of some of the crevices. Just make sure not to put too much force, otherwise you may damage the part. As you can see, it's nice and shiny and clean. And now we are going to clean off the back of the cooler. So this part is much easier. You don't have to worry about anything, but it isn't going to become as clean because the cooler is probably going to be a little bit stained from the thermal paste, which is fine. So to apply thermal paste, the recommended method is to go in like a cross and then a plus on top of that, and then you want to put a dot for each of the HBM modules to make sure they get coverage. I go an extra step and spread the paste out all the way just to make sure that it gets 100% coverage. During this, it's a little bit messy and bad because my main tube of thermal paste ran out. As you can see right here, it's out. So I had to go and grab another one, which I hadn't ever used before, and it was a little bit liquidy, so it kind of got all over the place. It was a bit of a mess, but in the end, we got we got everything covered in thermal paste, so it's good. At this point, you can just leave it like this, or I like to use these spreaders, which one came included with my tube of thermal paste. You can find them probably included with other tubes as well. But you can use it to spread out the thermal paste. Make sure, just peace of mind, make sure you get 100% contact, because if you don't, you could kill the GPU. Even if it's just a specific area of the GPU, even if a little bit doesn't get contact, that little bit could die. There's no heat spreader, which means that 100% of the die has to be contacted with the cooler. Now we're going to put on the screws in the back. If you forgot which ones go where, the short silver ones go in the cross, and the short sort of dark chrome ones go in the top and sides of the GPU die, and then the long dark ones go on the back plate. So, which is pretty simple. There are only 3 types of screws in this cooler, which is, I think, pretty nice, and so it's super easy to take apart and reassemble. So now we are finished. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, if it helped you out, please leave a like, and I will be back for more, hopefully very, very soon. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye.